That was fascinating. Yeah. Why is everybody scared of me? I, oh, okay, thanks. It's more of a frightened of what bad people will do when we try to talk to you. Ah, makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, cool, cool. Yo-yo, huh? Sly. No, I don't let him in anymore. No, he gets too much shit on my fur. On the yeah, and he's too feral. He'd get uh, ticks and stuff in here because he won't wear us, and I don't like to give him medication. We have a pretty healthy. We keep the environment as healthy as possible, and so the pets are as healthy as we can possibly keep them, and so we don't have as many problems that people have in less healthy conditions. So people in what is would get sick and die from diseases, from bites from certain bugs, and our bugs are healthier than their bugs because we're not in the epicenter of what is. We're on the outskirts in a farm community. Now we do have to deal with, but I work as diligently as possible to keep the pesticides at bay for our bugs. And yeah, I literally say bugs. Yeah, because we have dragonflies, and my dragonflies are like my selective service crew on the way to the mailbox. So they, hey, look, mosquitoes. It's not really that. I'm like their bait. And they go, here he comes. Okay, the mosquitoes are going to go after him. Meow, and they eat all the mosquitoes before they get to me. So it's even rude, right? So well, it's pretty fascinating. I understand that you go for what I understand that you're, not as old as your wife, but not as young as your daughter. Yeah, she told me because I was, because I was sitting there going, you're not Natalie's age. No, she's not as young as Natalie, but she's not as old as Amy. Amy's 45. Okay. So I was sitting there talking to this young woman, and her father, he was right. He said any woman can be bought or can be sold if she allows herself to be so. Okay, but most women you find will, like what I said, what happened, at the PTSD. Okay, yeah. When I talked about the stuff about the Bryant house, she went through PTSD. She's been through a lot of difficult situations like that. She lived in occupied countries where people will murder each other and mass murder each other to control the market, and you do what you got to do to stay alive, and you protect the people that protect you, and it's a very difficult life. A lot of people think it's glamorous being born in Mexico City and moving from here to there with all this stuff, and it's not glamorous at all. It's the exact opposite. It's kind of like, yeah, Pete Escovedo's daughter, right? She wants to live a glamorous life without love. It ain't much, but she never found a man that made me feel like he was going to protect me. Or a man that you felt worthy of his protection. I understand. I don't mean to scare people. Yeah, you got so serious. Yeah, you're serious. She wanted to joke with me, and then we joked, and she gets serious. I ask her questions, and she gets all serious. It's like, yeah, the little accent thing, that's working for you, okay? She's a Pisces. Yeah, March 1st, 1983. Okay. Yeah, I went and looked her up online. Yeah. I didn't want to overstep any bounds. I wanted to make sure I was being respectful and stuff. Okay. Tell Yo-Yo I'm cool. Tell Yo-Yo I'm cool. Me and cats get along pretty good. Yeah. I understand cats. Yeah. Cats are like George Carlin. He said, a dog, you come home and a dog is like, hey, you're home. So happy you're home. I'll stop tearing up your bed. Oh, nice to see you. Great. Hey. You forgot to leave the toilet seat open and the bathroom door open, that kind of stuff. Cats are kind of like, you're letting the air out. The air conditioner's on for a reason. Okay, thank you. Okay, close the door. Cats are funny, man. It just depends on their mood. But for the most part, it's pretty much you're letting the air out, close the door. What's wrong with you? This is my house. I just let you stay here with me. Cats are a riot, man. When they're affectionate with you, it's because you are pleasing to them. Okay, if you're not pleasing to them, they're not going to be affectionate with you. Betsy, Dad's been working on his stuff. She bit him today. He hasn't been sitting in his chair and petting her. She hasn't been pleasing to her lately. She's funny, and I try to explain that to him. No, it's you're just not. She trains us, Dad. You're not following the training. You're stepping out of training, man. You're stepping out of line. She's gonna let you have it. That's a cat, man. All cats are that way. If they can get away with it. Not even if they can get away with it, they're going to do it. It's not so much getting away with it. You got to understand, you are training them, but they're simultaneously training you, and there has to be like an accord. Okay, cats are no. You're not in charge with the cats. You're coexisting with the cat. Okay, if you don't follow certain things, they'll make you miserable, and then they are not your cat much longer. Like Pebbles, and she had to stay, and like with Sly, he had certain things he wanted to do, and no, and so I was like, no, go to your. We made the cat for a reason. That's your spot. That's where you rub all your fur. Zeke was much more, dogs are a little bit more, so he stayed in here. And then after Zeke was gone, he stayed in a little bit longer, and then it got to the point where, he's putting the fur everywhere and doing whatever he wanted. And I was like, okay. And I pet him, and I love him, and I let him know he's loved, but I'm not going to be dominated by, fur up my nose and ticks in my crotch and stuff like that. So, we have a relationship. I'm that way with all my furry critters, yeah. It would be different if I had my own house, but he'd still, because of his feral tendencies, he would still be in and out. Yeah, he can. He tears up stuff. He tears up furniture. He pees on things. And here he doesn't, because it's one room and I can keep an eye on him. But if he has the whole house to himself, no, he'll do certain things and you can't let him go in there. So you just have another cat room. So you just got to understand your cat and then behave in accordance to the cat. Yeah, that's true. You just got to. There has to be. He's very feral. I like him that way. He's a good guy. He's one of the best mousers, best bird catchers ever. And chase birds, catch birds. His name's Sylvester for a reason. And Francis called him Prince Valiant. I don't see him because she thought he was cowardly. It's not that. He's very agile. He's an excellent hunter, and he understands he's being hunted. And he's quite intelligent. And yeah, if he couldn't take Smitty, and he knew that. So he understood his relationship with Smitty, but he wasn't emasculated by it. He feels more that way with Betsy because Betsy's a girl, and Betsy's Smitty or Yoshi. She's big and she's badass. She's a coon cat, and so he sometimes finds that a little emasculating. And so his relationship with her is. The other girls, he'd get close, they'd let him have it, but he was like, hey, I'm the guy, But even with Pebbles, yeah, because Pebbles didn't have any claws. Pebbles was just angry at the world because people took her claws. You never take a cat's claws. Never. I can't overemphasize that. Do not declaw cats. If you're going to get cats, have an environment that's conducive to cats. There's even ways you can tell them where you can tear up this or you can't tear up there, and they will understand that. But the thing is, you do not declaw them, and you got to realize they are cats, and they're going to do what cats do. So if you want a pristine house that doesn't have anything somewhat shredded or doesn't have, the smell of cat, then don't get a cat. But don't torture the cat. It's like nature. You do not make nature accommodate you. You have to understand how to work in balance and harmony with nature. Guys, do you understand? Okay. Sorry, this is what we're talking about now. We talked about other things. We did talk about the thing about women. The father said, every woman can be bought and or sold. Because we were talking about, the thing over money, and people will feel powerful over money, even if it's $50. And if you've ever had to lay on your back for 10 minutes, for $50 to have someone enter your body to take care of people you care about, you don't know what we're talking about, right? And so there's a lot of self-righteous, hypocritical people in the world that think they're good people because they have more money than other people. But if you need $50 or your children starve, that really, Anthony Whitfield, I think her name was Buffy, or I can't remember. Boy, she was hating life after Gaines torn her. I would take you to a flop house. He broke it down to her. Your parents would not even recognize you after I brought you back from a month in Detroit. I'd make more money off of you than you. It was horrible what he said to her. But it was horrible what she said to us, you know. And so she said, you know, these people, they need to pick up themselves up by their bootstraps, and they're just being lazy and stuff like that. And then, you know, Dante, you know, telling me, yeah, no. My first memories are playing Nintendo on the couch in front of a 13-inch TV while men came in and out, took money from the man with the chair on the thing on the other foot of the couch, going in and out of the room with no door on it, having sex with my mother all day to pay our bills. Okay. Do you understand? I don't think a lot of you do. You know, Lord's Prayer. Okay. I wish you the Lord's Prayer. I wish you the happiness of the Lord's Prayer. I wish you the courage to stand up for the happiness and the strength and the kindness and the courage of the Lord's Prayer. That's what I wish for you. You know, Tony Williams, I wish that you and I could never... I wish. No one ever says that. Okay? No one ever says that. Muhammad said it in the Quran, Jesus said it in the Bible, but no one in the corporations that say that they are Muslims or Christians ever get up and say what I say publicly, because they're afraid of being murdered by the people that run the corporations. I'm not afraid. Yeah, I'm uncomfortable. I'm 59 years old, and I've been very, very, very uncomfortable because priests and monks and assholes that are part of corporations, even if they declare themselves not part of the corporations, are selfish assholes who think their pain and suffering that they self-induce far exceeds my pain and suffering that it's induced on me because they're competing with me, and I never had any desire to compete with them. Like I was telling Dad with that Brazilian jiu-jitsu wrestler guy that was Deb's friend at Fry's Sierra Vista, was one of the biggest men I've ever seen in my life. They said he does Brazilian jiu-jitsu and stuff, so I wouldn't want to fight him. And everybody saw that as fear. I loved the guy. He was really nice. He was really friendly, liked kids, and was really kind because he wasn't afraid of anybody. Okay. He wasn't afraid of me. Well, I wasn't afraid of him, so we didn't release pheromones. There was nothing to fight about. Okay. When the guys that were cocky, that were smaller than him, that were better, quote, assassins than he was. Reason why he wasn't a good assassin is because he just wanted to protect people. He didn't want to kill people. They wanted to kill people. And I told them, I don't want to fight you because I don't want to have to kill you. Me and him, we wouldn't have to fight. We had no reason. We just want to protect people. He was a big guy. He's really nice. I really liked him. Mark was that way too by the time I met Mark. Okay. The guys that just want to protect people because they want to protect their kids and they want to keep people safe from bullies, they're radically different than the bullies that kill and then think they're the best killers, and they meet the best protector and they go, holy shit, you can't, yeah, I know, you can poison me. Okay. But I don't, well, yeah, I'm certain that, you know, Elon Musk were a, you know, battle bot thing like they have on the Matrix, that he would be able to, I don't know. My chi, and if I'm slick enough to come underneath and pop up to where he's at underneath, I'm going to rip his nuts off and pull him out of there and say, don't do that. Children need safety from abusive people. Live Lord's Prayer. Okay.